Hey guys, I'm Morthadon and we are back for Serial Experiments Lain episode 3. So, real quick order of business to get out of the way. I was just sick last week and I still have it a little bit in my lungs. So, and I also just recorded a video. The more I talk, the more I seem to cough. So I'm going to do my best, if I remember, to edit out any coughs that I have. I'm going to try to write down the time that I see it happen at, so that way I can find it more easily, kind of thing. So I'll just, mute the audio, so that way you guys don't have to listen to it. Obviously, since I'm doing, since we're watching the episode together, I can't cut the whole part out, kind of thing. Either way, I don't have to explain how it all works. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know in case you see me coughing and it's muted and you're wondering, why. It's probably because I coughed, 5 times, and like I said, I just recorded another video before this where I talked a lot, and the more I talk, so I'm worried about this one being even worse. I think I only coughed 3 times in the last one, so it's not a big deal, but this one might be more. So just letting you know. Anyway, last episode, we kind of met what is possibly Lain's sister, someone else living in that household, although the show is so weird, I have no idea, but talking about imaginary friends and creepy stuff. But then she had some girls at school saying that Lain looked like a girl at this club, and then they ended up going to the club where this guy, killed 2 girls, and Lain kind of stepped up and was almost commanding him in a way, and he seemed to be listening and taking her more seriously than I would expect him to take a stranger and a child. So what is it about Lain, right? That's a question. But we also have them talking about moving freely in the wired, the Navi being a system that matures with you. It's all these interesting and concepts that I want to learn more about and be even more confused as I learn more, probably. So let's get started, shall we? Alrighty, we're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Present time. Yeah. Alright, right into the opening. Trying to take a sticker off my cup. I was focused on that. Well, I have this thing. I have a little cozy that my iced coffees sit in, and the sticker was kind of under it, so I was pulling it, but then I didn't want to pull the coffee off the table, so. Alright, man. I'm ready for a trip. That part of the opening is still, creeps me out. Okay, so we're following up with this. What? Why? How does she have this reputation? Or is it someone else? Huh. Hmm. What is happening? Why did she have like a hard time saying... I am confused. It's like... Why did it seem like she was, like, speaking for the first time when she tried to say that name? Is it normal for a cop just to drop a kid off here? Like, didn't he call her home and no one answered? Would you then drop a kid off at that place that no one answered from? Wouldn't that mean that potentially no one's home? Ugh. Okay, so she is at her house. That room had 2 beds in it, so I was just a little confused. I was like, wait, is she at like a hotel room or something? Why'd that bedroom have 2 beds? I mean, is that supposed to be her parents' room and maybe they just don't share a bed? I guess I also don't know a lot about the sleeping conventions of Japan. So it could just be like a thing they do there where they don't share the same bed even if they're married or something. Isn't that always sad? And no one's talking to me, man. Look at that machine though, right? That's a crazy tower. I'm an idiot and I was talking when it replied back and I didn't hear what it said to make her pause like that. I'll have to go back. Why the color distortion? Okay, so there's people here now. No, ask! I want to know! Being watched. Huh. She being, like, recorded, or is that what the red indicator was supposed to be? I appreciate the motion of the train. This, like, older animation. What? Who's me? And she heard that, she was looking at wires. The wired, is it some kind of visual metaphor? She's always getting taken away from talking to Lain. Yeah, that was the girl that killed herself said that, right? I have no idea. I mean, I do. I have, like, obviously, like, I'm wondering if somehow she's hearing voices from, like, the Wired or something, but I don't know. What is this? Come on now. Don't look at someone else's mail. Oh shit, what is that? What is that thing? It didn't look the same as the, Excella drug, right? Who would have given that to her and why? So creepy. What? Are these just conversations happening over the wire? Psyche chip. What? Jesus. Hmm. That's creepy. Yeah, so it just sounds like we're hearing a lot of the things that goes on, a lot of different things that are happening on the Wired. Like people telling bullshit stories, people saying shit like dying is fun, blackmail. Oh, the dad. That's it. I think he does know. But if he does and it's something bad, why wouldn't he take it from his daughter? Huh. There's two red dots now. Ugh. It's kind of creepy how they like. I know they followed her, obviously, if they're like cameras keeping an eye on her or something. I don't know. But just the fact that it followed her made me feel like it was like eyes, just like keeping an eye on you, sort of thing. Man, there's like a weird blur on some parts of the screen, right? Like the top left kind of has like a. How does this guy know her? What? So maybe the person that the girls at school mistook for Lain, maybe he knows that person? But the person goes by Lain as well? No, this kid knows what it is. Oh shit. What are these kids doing in this club? Inside it. Yeah, there's some, like... That sounds suspicious. How do people know her? Hmm. What? She just looked at him and he backed out. Jealousy doesn't look good, kid. Oh man, this show is something. What the heck? Those are the red lights, right? Yeah, like, I feel like some things we're seeing are aligning with some of my theories, but then there's other things that I'm just like, I don't know enough about the world yet to really formulate something. Is she gonna be taking her computer apart? What? What? That is definitely not in her personality to be like that. Oh man. Alright. Like, okay, so there's something going on with this, you know, obviously last episode we had a lot of emphasis on the girls at school feeling like they saw someone that looked kind of like Lain, but nothing like Lain, and they kept going over it. And now this episode we have a lot about, like, this other Lain, right? Like, this guy going up to her and saying, like, we need to have another rave, like, these other kids recognizing her. saying they see her in The Wired and stuff. So it's like, I don't know. Like, is it like a multiple personality thing where Lain actually does have another personality? Like, what is there stuff we're seeing that isn't real? I don't know. I don't know. Like, what's up with the, like, parents not being around when the cops called, but they're around when she's around? It gives me the feeling of, like, but the cops did verify her, like, name and address and that she has parents and stuff, so it's like, if they were dead or non-existent or something, you would think the cops would have found that, right? But I don't know. It's almost like when she wasn't there, the family didn't exist or something, which I don't know, maybe there was just something going on and the parents weren't there. I don't know, but alright guys, that is it for episode 3. So, one thing I did want to do is I wanted to go back, turn subtitles on again, because this shit reset. Okay, so she said goodnight, Navi, and the computer replied goodnight, Lain, and that's just what she stopped and looked at. Okay. See, that's what I thought I saw, but then she paused for so long that I wasn't quite sure if that's what she saw. That's just what I wanted to go back to, because I was talking and, like, looking down when that came up, and, But yeah, we have this thing called, have you heard of Lain of the Wired and stuff like that, and then we have these kids talking about seeing Lain on the Wired, and she was, like, much different, like, total opposite personality and stuff. Like, it is true that sometimes people's personalities are different on the computer than they are in person and stuff like that, but typically they're aware of it. Why is our Lain not aware of it, right? Like, is there some... I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think about how there could be another Lain that our Lain isn't aware of, other than... Because sometimes you can have multiple personality disorder, and you're not aware of the other personalities, kind of thing. So it could be something like that. Or, like, the thing is, like, I would say... if she was more connected to the wire, like, we now have this, like, psyche chip that she's putting in, and stuff like that, but, like, that sounds sketchy as hell, right? It's this chip you connect to the motherboard, and it, like, manipulates the incoming data. Like, what does that mean? Like, that sounds like some sketchy bullshit where, like, you know, like, your mom sends you a message on your Navi saying, like, hi honey, how are you? But the psyche chip just takes it and, like, manipulates it, right? And, like, I don't know, maybe I'm interpreting it wrong, but it could, like, manipulate that message to be, like, something completely different, right? I don't know. But definitely, like, oh, it's just trying to put all these different little pieces together, you know, with, like, why didn't the parents answer? Why does this Lain of the Wired exist when she's, like, barely into computers and stuff like that right now? Like, I would say, like, maybe down the line, I don't think there's gonna be, like, time travel shit. I don't think it's gonna be, like, Lain eventually gets into the Wired and, like, gets really into it and deep dives and becomes, like, crazy into it and all that, and different personality and everything, and then that personality somehow goes back in time and is seeing, like, the current Lain. I don't know. I doubt it. I just had to say it, but I don't think that's even on the radar of speculation. But yeah. Why, with Arisu, like, I appreciate her apologizing and everything, but why at the police station was she like, Arisu? You know, like, she didn't have any problems saying other things. She didn't have problems talking to the cop and telling him, well, the cop said, like, you won't talk to me, but, he also said, like, the information you gave me is real, so she had to have said something at one point to tell him, you know, their number and parents and everything. But why was she like, Sue? You know, like, why was she doing that? I don't know. It's so fucking weird and creepy. But, you know, she got home, she looked in the rooms and everything, and, like, for one, I don't know, I already said it during the reaction, but I don't know why the cop would drop her off somewhere like that. Like, I don't think any cop would ever do that. If you called home and no one answered, I don't know. Maybe they would. I have no idea. But we also had her hearing voices while she was on the train, which is also weird. Like, it's almost like she has some kind of connection to the Wired, but why does she have this connection? Like, what is special about her that gives her, if that is the case, right? But um but yeah, she was hearing these voices talk to her, and it seemed like they also knew that they were talking to her. Like, it wasn't like it didn't seem like she was just picking up on a frequency. Like, let's say there's like, you know, let's say there's this big chat room, right? And I'm suddenly hearing voices from that big chat room that I'm not even talking in or anything. Yet, you know, I don't know. Is it possible that it's like some kind of simulation shit? Like, I don't know. Like, is her life a simulated environment on a computer, and like there's parts of reality seeping through or something like that? I don't know. I'm just like trying to come up with something, right? But to explain why she's like hearing these voices, and if they are voices from the Wired, because I don't know enough about this world. Like, obviously their computers look quite a bit different than ours for the most part. The dads looked more similar to like what we have, but hers have always looked pretty crazy, right? And then also the dad seeing that psyche chip and not like he turned around instantly and walked away. That is usually like an indicator that he knows something but just doesn't want to talk about it. But if it's something that's bad, why would you leave your daughter with this chip that isn't good? Like, unless he just thought like, oh, my daughter doesn't know enough about computers for it to matter. Like, maybe he didn't expect her to find these kids at the club that would tell her how to install it, kind of thing, so he didn't worry about it. Or maybe it's not something nefarious, so he doesn't care. I don't know. Or, you know, I mean, we had the situation where the parents weren't home. Maybe there's something where they aren't real and they can't really interfere with her too much, kind of thing. I don't know. I think the parents do exist. I think it'd be weird if they didn't exist, but I just don't know why they weren't home that night when the cops called, kind of thing. Yeah, I feel like this is just one of those situations where we just need to watch and learn more. We had like the creepy people watching her that have like those little glasses things. Like, that definitely feels like a, you know, like those people feel like they're people that are like always connected to the Wired through those glasses or something. Or is there like, is the reality they're seeing not real somehow, and maybe those guys with the goggles or like the, you know, the glasses things with the red light, maybe that like helps them see the reality? Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe they're like obsessed with the Wired, and that allows them to like see the world differently when they're wearing them, and see the world as it is connected to the Wire, kind of thing. I don't know. It's like there's so many possibilities in yeah, I think I need to watch more to find out more. I'm creeped out. It's awkward. It's like I don't know what's up with this like extra Lain, and why like so many people seem to know her. You know, like what's with this like alternate personality that there is online? Like, is it actually our Lain? Is it a different character? You know, I don't know. Is it like a AI generated version of Lain? But I mean, you know, we have like, and then right at the end of the episode, that was creepy too, where she went from her just like tame personality to all of a sudden like, welcome home, sister, you know? And it's like, what was that about? Was that like, Was that her transitioning into the other Lain for a second, or like, and then it looked like it had like I don't know if that was just supposed to be an ending episode effect or something, but it was almost like someone like paused the video or something, right? She's like, "Are you kidding?" And it like had like that weird like the same kind of like audio we heard when we heard it over the wire, when we heard people talking over the wired. It was almost like we heard that similar thing. And then it went like more pixelated kind of thing, like as if it was on like a computer screen that she was seeing that. I don't know, man. I can't wait to watch more. I can't wait. Like, and I can't wait to just watch stuff after this of like what the fuck is happening in this show for real, man. But I think that's all I really have to say. It's crazy. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon link where you can get early access to this show 2 episodes ahead if you want to support the channel and gain access to that. There's also Patreon shows where I'm watching Symphogear, Better Call Saul, things like that that aren't going to release on YouTube for a while. So check that out if you're interested. That is also a way you can support the channel through that tier. All that's in the description or should be popping up on the screen. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.